I'm going to tell you a story. But the first thing you have to understand is time doesn't work the way you think it does. You can call me Oracle, because I'm the one who's talking to you. Welcome to the cult. Alright, I still have that idiot Jack, like, talking at the same time as me. Saying his usual CMBS, but, like, still. Just as a heads up. Alright. What am I talking about today? I'm going to go back to the Kama Sutra. Questionable parts aside. We are on to part 4 about a wife. Chapter 1 on the manner of living in virtuous woman of her behavior during the absence of her husband. Alrighty. A virtuous woman who has affection for her husband should act in conformity with his wishes if he were a divine being. Interesting. That's very tantric. And with his consent should take upon herself the whole care of his family. She should keep the whole house well clean and arrange flowers of various kinds of different parts of it. And make the floor smooth and polished so as to give the wholly neat and becoming appearance. She should surround the house with a garden and place ready in it all the materials required for the morning, noon, and even or evening sacrifices. On a side note, I'm pretty sure acting in conformity with his wishes if he were a divine being is pretty directly, actually, literally, like something that's a part of Devadavatara, like idolization of the husband. Important note, dudes who don't give Pali Puja don't deserve Devadavatara. I'm just saying. Moving on. If you don't wife worship, you don't deserve to be idolized. That's just my opinion. Like, as a husband. Maybe if you're obviously, like, if you're a great parent, whatevs. Like, that's fine. It's kind of, like, very not normal for children to idolize their parents. Anyway. It's also very, very not normal for them to not idolize their parents, but still. Moreover, she should herself revere the sanctuary of the household gods. For, says the Gonardia, nothing so much attracts the heart of the householder to his wife as a careful observer of the things mentioned above. Towards the parents, relations, friends, sisters, and servants of her husband, she should behave as they deserve. In the garden, she should plant beds of green vegetables, bunches of the sugar cane, clumps of the fig tree, the mustard plant, the parsley plant, the fennel plant, and the Xanthochymus pictorius. Clusters of various flowers, such as the Trapa bispinosa, the jasmine, I was initiated in jasmine oil. That's what my anointing was in. I got rubbed with Sanskrit oil. Sanskrit oil. I had stylus written on my back in jasmine oil, and I'm pretty sure Sanskrit. Moreover, she should herself revere the sanctuary of the household gods. For says good idea, nothing so much attracts the heart of the householder to his wife as a careful observant of the things mentioned above. Towards the parents of relations, friends, sisters, and servants of her husband, she should behave as they deserve. In the garden, she should plant beds. Oh, wait, no, I've said most of this. Cluster various flowers such as Trapa, the Spinosa jasmine, the Gasminium gandiflorium, the yellow amaranth, the wild jasmine, the Tabernamontana coronaria, the Nadia Horta, the China rose, and others should likewise be planted together with fragrant grass and Andropogon scanthus. Scananthus. That's a mouthful. And the fragrant root of the plant Andropogon miracatus. She should also have seats and arbors made in the garden, in the middle of which a well, tank, or pool should be dug. As regards to males, she should always avoid the company of female beggars, female booty mendicants, unchaste and roguish minion women, female fortune tellers, and witches. Ain't nothing wrong with fortune tellers, yeah. Boo on you not liking the curdy. Boo on you. Witches aren't bad. I mean, there are bad witches, but, like, witches aren't bad. In the event of any misconduct in her part of her husband, she should not blame him excessively, though she'd be a little displeased. She should not use abusive language towards him and rebuke him with conciliatory words, whether he be in the company of friends or alone. Moreover, she should not be a scold. For says Gonardia, there is no cause of dislike on the part of our husband so great as this characteristic in his wife. Look, No one wants to be nagged. But maybe you should do the dishes once in a while. I'm just saying. Lastly, she should avoid bad expressions, sulky looks, speaking aside, standing in the doorway and looking at passers-by, conversing in the pleasure groves, and remaining in a lonely place for a long time. And finally, she should always keep a body, her teeth, her hair, and everything belonging to her tidy, sweet, and clean. Yep. I'm not surprised the sexism is back hard now. When the wife wants to approach her husband in private, her dress should consist of many ornaments, various kinds of flowers, and cloth decorated with different colors, and some sweet-smelling ointments or unguents. But her everyday dress should be composed of thin, close-textured cloth, a few ornaments and flowers, and a little scent, but not too much. Okay. Once again, it goes from doing something sexist to saying something I agree with. And this is something I know for a fact pisses off other women. Do not, if you're a dude, bathe in Axe. Do not, if you're a lady, bathe in those those bottles that are this big, that are this bag, that are this thick, that are full of perfume, and they just don't scent shower yourself. Ha. People have allergies and can actually be brought hard by that, and the rest of us don't want to the rest of us don't want our food to taste like that. I'm just saying. It comes off of you in waves that way. Anyway, but not too much. Where was not too much? She should also observe the fasts and vows of her husband, and when he tries to prevent her doing this, she should persuade him to let her do it. Oh, okay. At appropriate times of the year, when they happen to be cheap, she should buy earth, bamboo, firewood, skins, and iron pots, and also salt and oil. Yes. Be mindful of the seasons and stuff for how much stuff costs. That's not terrible advice. Fragrant substances, vessels made of the root of the plant Waitea antidysenterica, or oval-leaved Waitea. Medicines and other things which are always wanted should be obtained when required and kept in a secret place in the house. Apparently, the medicine cabinet was a secret place back in the day. Rahasya Akasa. The seeds of the radish, the potato, the common beet, the Indian wormwood, and the mango, the cucumber, the eggplant, and the kushmanda, the pumpkin gourd, and the serrana, the begonia indica, the sandalwood, the prena spinosa, the garlic plant, the onion, and other vegetables should be bought and sown at the proper seasons. The wife, moreover, should not tell to strangers the amount of her wealth, nor the secrets her husband has confided in her. She should surpass all the women of her own rank in her life in her cleverness, her appearance, her knowledge of cookery, her pride, and her manner of serving her husband. The expenditure of the year should be regulated by the prophets. The milk that remains after the meal should be turned into ghee or clarified butter. Oil and sugar should be prepared at home. Spinning and weaving should also be done there. A store of rope. That's interesting. This is apparently at a time when weaving had turned into women's work, because for most of the time, most of history, women were precluded from weaving because of the weight of the looms kind of actually making it men's work because of how heavy the dang things were to operate. I got distracted. And a store of ropes and cords and the works of trees for twisting ropes should be kept. She should also be attend to pounding, cleaning rice, using its small grain and chaff in some other ways. She should pay the salaries of the servants, look after the tilling of the fields, and keeping the flocks and herds, superintend the making of vehicles, and take care of the rams, cooks, quails, parrots, starlings, quiet starling, cuckoos, peacocks, monkeys, mera, marcati, merga, And finally, just the income and expenditure of the day. The Warnock loaf should be given to those servants who have done good work in order to show them that their services have been appreciated, or they may be applied to some other use. The vessel in which the wine is prepared, as well as those which kept, should be carefully looked after and put away in the proper time. All sales and purchases should also be well tended to. The friends of her husband should be welcome, representing them with flowers, ornaments, incense, betel leaves, and betel nut. Yeah, apparently betel leaves were like a huge thing. Like, apparently, like, I guess it was a huge thing. Because it's all over the Kama Sutra. Her father-in-law and mother-in-law should treat as they deserve, and always remaining dependent on their will, never contradicting them, speaking to them in a few and not harsh words, not laughing loudly in their presence, and not acting with friends and enemies as with her own. In addition to the above, she should not be vain or too much taken with her enjoyments. Yo, not being vain, that's good advice for anyone. Not take too much time with your enjoyments. I mean, like, yes, also good advice for everyone. But that kind of sounds like don't let her have fun. I don't, me no likey. She should be liberal towards her servants and reward them on holidays and festivals and not give away anything without first making it known to her husband. Thus ends the manner of living of virtuous women. Virtuous. Very virtuous. During the absence of her husband on journey, the virtuous woman should wear only her auspicious ornaments and observe the fast in honor of the gods. Oh, that's actually kind of cute. While anxious to hear the news of her husband, she should still look after her household affairs. She should sleep near the elder women in the house and make herself agreeable to them. She should look after and keep in her care the things that are liked by her husband, and continue the works that have been begun by him. To the above of her relations, she should not go except on occasions of joy and sorrow, and then she should go in her usual traveling dress, accompanied by her husband's servants, and not remaining there for very long. The fast and feast should be observed with the consent of the elders of the house. The resources should be increased by purchases and sales according to the practice of the merchants and by means of honest servants, superintended by herself. The income should be increased and the expenditure diminished as much as possible. And when a husband returns from his journey, she should receive him at first in her ordinary clothes, so that he may know in what way she has lived during his absence, and should bring to him some presents such as materials for the worship of the deity. Thus ends the part relating to the behavior of the wife in the absence of the husband on a journey. There are some verses on the subject as follows. The wife, whether she be a woman of noble family or a virgin widow, or remarried or a concubine, should lead a chaste life devoted to her husband, and doing everything for his welfare. Women acting thus, acquiring Dharma, Artha, and Kama, obtain a high position and generally keep their husbands devoted to them. And so ends chapter 1 of Kama Sutra, part 4. This is Oracle, I'm gonna sing myself out. Dream safely out there. Thank you for watching. And if you want to say screw you to Jack for putting CMBS in the Kama Sutra, just say down below what the heck. Thank you for watching. Oracle me. Talk to you later out in the weeds.